more experience.
Well, I'm sure passion going to be delivered in buckets and spades. It's time to get RED Canids and Legacy underway.
Yes, Desk, thank you for your thoughts, and we're jumping into the first game of the day. Another best of one to kick it all off. We got Legacy, we got RED Canids, and a head-to-head Brazilian affair where I think the Desk unpacked it quite nicely. We're expecting Legacy to just ramp up into the game now. Me personally, I saw Train versus FlyQuest and thought, oh no, they've made a mistake, and sure enough, they lose there. So it's about getting it up and going now. And up versus RED Canids, this is RED Canids' second most played map and highest win rate. That's the one asterisk on this. Down into the B site, we get opening kills, man advantage for the T's. Dual Berettas moving through the control window, and so things seem secure. Where's the bomb?
They're holding on to this lower site for now. Bomb sits atop, and the plant, oh, it's a fake plant. They're still insecure about what they're holding, but Che in this spot, they've got a really good position, I think, and yeah, Dooley's gets that first kill, not the second.
Peels back slightly, Sadzin into the clutch. Gonna be tough to get into this one, especially whenever you see somebody on the top silo. Even more difficult now that he's gone ahead to give up. So it's RED Canids, Mohan with an aggressive take down into the lower bomb site, following through and taking a T-side start.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They've been impressing, and I feel that because like they've even got this far without playing Nuke. Now they get Nuke. They're going to be more comfortable than ever. It's kind of interesting because you know that both these teams know a lot about each other on this map specifically, but you got this Brazilian derby now. It feels like all bets are off in terms of who's gonna win.
Well, I think especially because imagine if you're RED Canids watching Legacy go on this tear as of late. There's no head-to-head between these two teams. Even when we talk about domestically, Legacy just kind of having an edge more often. This particular head-to-head, that just hasn't occurred. So you're watching Legacy kind of live out your dream, become this top 10 ranked team in the world, and suddenly you get a chance to take them down a peg. You get to do it on a map you're clearly comfortable on.
But also remember, there could be lots of scrims.
Sure,
so they're the same
fair.
region, right? I don't think it's a coincidence they've both gotten really good at Nuke, and again, I think emotionally, there's just something about being the favorite in a region where you just don't want to play your domestic underdogs. It doesn't, I don't think it'll feel that way necessarily to Legacy. They're also coming off of a day where they didn't go 2-0, which they seem like the most clear 2-0 team in the stage. Now losing to FlyQuest, there's no shame in that. They played extremely well, but still, Legacy, you'd expect them to have been able to run through it, especially since their power up since Austin, and them already obviously showing us what they did at Austin.
It's uncharted territory for them to be favorites like that, though, so falling victim to the hype, perhaps. Trying to follow through into main. No sketchy situation offered up by Legacy just yet. Still a couple bodies inside A site, but no immediate follow-through. That smoke's going to cool off RED Canids. 5v3, you know, the pistols are out on the field. They'll be content to just sit here for a second.
They'll chill, peel back, get some more information, and they have enough time to regroup if they'd like to, and allow Legacy to make a wrong move since they have to take a risk. And it looks like they got what they're looking for. Legacy assuming that they were going to go for that outside cross, leaving Sadzin alone with the scout to defend.
It's good tag damage. At least a second member of the Canids lower.
There we go.
You'll finish up Cowes on his own, but again, very much on his own. No rotation nearby. Cautious about what angle they'll come in from. He doesn't know where this pack has gone off to, but 15 seconds makes it weird, and as he switches over to the Galil, that's when the Hut player comes through. Good pressure from multiple points of this A site, and that's going to be RED Canids to convert it. Sure, take it down to the last 10 seconds, but you take your time, you lose one body. I don't think they're going to be upset with this outcome whatsoever.
Man, they got the rotation they were looking for. They didn't run into the site with more players, and with their low HP guys didn't go into the pistols, so I think overall it's scary, but still successful here, especially if they end up saving 4. But we'll see if that happens or not. Looks like they're saving in the right direction. And therefore, 4 alive here for RED Canids. It's pretty solid. What was the team? That's escaping me. What was the team that History played on before? Was it Fluxo? Let's just check on that. but I remember definitely being impressed by him as well.
Definitely the team I think that comes into this stage of the major with the lowest expectations internationally, and yet trying to take a peg down out of Legacy. This would be a big upset. We'd be looking at a Legacy that then find themselves on a much more difficult road. So inspired by the other upsets of day one, RED Canids looking to hold on to this momentum. You'll be given a reward versus Pistols in round 3, so well-earned start to the attack. Just go through the same motions of the round prior, because you know Legacy are always very plucky in these kinds of buys. The pistol threat is real when Legacy are in the server.
Yeah, he did. He was the opera for Fluxo. That's when we first sort of saw him turn heads a little bit. Okay, some pressure on ramp. Dumao here gets the first kill.
Right,
they slowed this down.
A bit weird. You've got a player in front of the smoke, so again, that's that threat of the Pistols with Legacy I was talking about. They meet their maker towards the ramp, but they did a good job of it last round to recover. Again, didn't lose as much. This one's certainly sketchier. MAC-10 still in play now in Sadzin's hands, but as Lotto goes for a reposition, we do see the RED Canids getting dangerously close to this. SMG's been added to the equation of the upper defense, and it's going to be Lotto to just stay tucked in.
They have to worry about Hut at the same time. CTs want to push. Perfect moment to do it.
Oh, it's a bit labored. He takes damage in return. You've got low health bars for the Canids. Great grenade from Che Jesus off the backboard.
A bounce.
And that's Dumao down. Softened up from ramp and finished off. Nissim's flank soon to be in position, and it feels like Canids have hit the brakes a bit too long. This Hut player's not going to turn around, I don't think. Waiting for his chance, they actually jump in on him, and so bomb hits the ground. Man advantage taken. Vent player cleared, though, back to the 2v2. And as Nissim clears over towards Squeaky Door, they will finish this. They do it with even less.
Yeah. That was so good from Dumao there in the ramp. I mean, they smoked it, and Drop tried to make up for that one kill, but that was obviously really risky for him. There was not a second player that could come through that smoke to trade. So he put a lot of the weight on this round on his shoulders, and instead of playing from the 5v4, which they could have, well, they kind of went all in. This nade was excellent. They nearly recovered the situation, but Legacy also had to make some good moves to actually close out, and they did. Got to make sure the T side doesn't get out of control early. Because they had that 4-save round last, they can buy again, even if Cowboys only has a Tech 9 on this round.
I think those are the nature of the rounds that Legacy are looking to win today early on, right? I know they're such a scrappy team, and they just roll off of momentum when they know they shouldn't be winning, and then suddenly they get that boost of success. They grab it with both hands and try to run with it, so this is an excellent way to kickstart their CT side.
No pressure on the cross at all. 3 walking slowly, and we've seen Legacy rotate quickly downstairs. They've been looking for this moment, I think. And they'll pre-smoke this even without the audible. This is very smart. Dodging the flash too.
Lux out of bullets. He gets traded out, and then history is going to roll that down into the B site. Nissim thought he had a little more space, but he comes out to a very prepared history, going in for a second kill. And all the while, Drop will be content to sit outside. So no pressure on the cross. And then Lux just kind of swarmed by numbers.
Was that Lux not, did he mess up a reload? Because he had that free rotation down the vent. It didn't seem like he shot that many bullets, and then he had to reload after like 5 or 6. Maybe could have made that a 2K, so it might have been a mechanical error.
Yeah, you don't want to be stuffed on a smoke like that with 7 bullets in your mag.
There's not a lot of incentive to try to quick switch after reloading. You still hear the sound after you do the reload, whether or not, and it takes the same amount of time. So, you know, if you had gone for that quick switch, that could have maybe cost them the round, to be honest. Lux is someone, I think, on the come up for Legacy that has just been the most impressive as like an underrated story on the team. Just calling, clutching, and putting together some incredible rounds. What was that PGL stat? It was 30. That was Lux, right?
Yeah, well, it was just all of Legacy, essentially, back at Bucharest very recently. The amount of clutches. I think it was like 4 players on Legacy were in the top 5 most clutches for the event.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, it was like Nissim and Lux tied at 13, 14.
Right.
You know, we're talking multiple players. Majority of your team in double digits clutches.
Yeah, it was mental.
Still not enough for first place. But not a bad result, and one that they thought would kind of power them up coming into the Budapest Major. Luckily for them, that injection of winning round 3 cash-wise gives them another bye here, as losing out to Red Canids in the 4th puts the CT side back into a very dangerous spot. You know, saves on the other side of this one.
This one's just with a lurk. Let's see if Che ends up going to clear this or if he's just holding back.
Ramp player sees an opportunity, but a bit labored means Venom Zera gets the trade back. Good challenge from Dumao on Red, and Sadson wants a piece of this ramp action but gets burned away. So holding on to the 4v3, it's Red Canids to go downstairs. And there's no resistance here just yet. We see that scramble coming out from Secret, dropping utility in front of Venom Zera.
Oh, but they get control side.
And as they sink 2 players into it, they will plant on that side of the silo, knowing ramp is not going to get challenged in that timing. Red Canids knew the window, and now they're just going to sit drop inside sight, awaiting that potential of a flank, but the flank's not coming.
History has another molly here as well. This could make things a lot worse if it comes down to the last second of time. Venom Zera is the first person to have pressure put on him, and Drop wins his 2 duels.
Tries to get another one, but the op's going to clip him on the other side of the fire. Venom Zera, instant headshot. It's pressure for the retake, and he wants nothing to do with it. Off of the bomb site and away, it is Red Canids with a 4th round, 5 rounds into play.
Damn, and that's, you know, winning that last round with a Tech 9 to work with, and now winning this round, absolutely destroying the economy here for Legacy. This is an awful start for them, but a great one for Red Canids. Doesn't get much better than that. This was, you know, this is taking a little bit too long to get this kill. Maybe he can open up for another, but Drop. What a ball team. It's about to get real scary here for Legacy. We are still doing best of 1s today. And the thing is, it's kind of wild. Again, we've seen, you know, normally when you play 3 best of 1s in a major Swiss, you're playing the same map at least twice. But so far, they've played 3 different maps, and they got their best one for probably their hardest matchup.
In a place, too, where surely confidence is a bit shaken up if you're Legacy after yesterday. You know, talk of the town was like that train pit kind of scrambled them. Maybe they weren't too ready for it. This is one of the teams trying to play 7 maps. Specifically so that in these best of 1s versus underdogs, you don't kind of fall victim to a veto. But as their pool remains varied, so does the challenge. You got to stay sharp all the time. I
would definitely criticize Legacy for, you know, only being able to operate really well as underdogs, but they're now a tournament-winning team. So then they made another final, and a final that they could have won as well. So I still believe in them beyond just the gimmick of, oh well, you know, people don't expect us to win, so that's when we'll do our best. We know they can do better than that. They play top-tier CS, but it's been an up and down couple of days now.
Not the first team to come into the major as a favorite for a specific stage and kind of fumble. And always a chance to still recover, but it's best of 3s on the other side of this one if they're not able to regain control of this half. I mean, right now, under a minute, still a scout in hand for Sadson, and Red Canids do a good job once they have still 5 players or a man advantage of following through in these, right? We saw them even recover almost this 3 versus 5 that Legacy end up winning. Their one and only round so far. But trying to keep layers on this one, a bit of complexity outside. It's going to keep Legacy questioning things as they kernel up. And last time Canids made this mistake of walking into the ramp room, losing 2 players to Dumao. Now it's going to be Sadson trying to deal with pressure from both sides of the A site. And it's a clean headshot that gets him into the bomb site. But the recovery's right there. And we get this push off of the site. Big Deagle pickup from within it. 5-7 comes back. And with lobby control here as well.
Oh, come on.
The pistols just don't mix.
Wow, what a round, man. From between the pistols and the scout headshot. That was masterful control of the situation. And Red Canids are probably really unhappy because they had the full split they were looking for. They had all the players in the right spots, but everybody hit their first bullet for Legacy. And I mean, that's just for Legacy to get back into the game. This is for Red Canids to really crush this half, so that's massive from Sadson to kick it off. Dumao saves his yelling for the major.
He had kind of veered away from it a little bit, but I think kind of when the going gets tough, tap back into what you know works. Proven entity in Austin.
They're trying to make this frustrating for RED Canids, but so far it's still such a great start. Now, we did see in their first game, they were 7-2 versus Fnatic, let them back into the game.
Right.
And ended up losing.
Such a critical round as well. Twice now, Legacy have gotten away with it. It's going to give them runway to try to get the real rifle rounds rolling.
But that really is a deal. Again, we look at the clutch stats and everything. It's like they will win pistol rounds versus you. They will win clutches, and if you get over that, then
problem this time for the Canids is that obviously last time they lose that hiccup, they still come out with a force buy. This one's kind of more of a reward for Legacy, having pulled it off a second time. Looking susceptible to consecutive round losses are the attackers here and now. They'll try to take it towards the ramp. And it's Nissim to hold with the first. Doesn't shy away from taking a second peek, buys that bit of time and space, more importantly, for Sadzin to still try to post up on the angle.
Yeah, they don't have a molly for him, too. So, oh, someone's coming into this dry. Yeah. Oh, but he doesn't get the kill.
Still falling back. Tough. Oh, what?
Wow.
No way. With just the pistol, Opper's still standing. Worried about some kind of pressure outer, but for now, it's just this crawl through the smoke.
Cal is hoping that was broken open, but instead has to wait now. It's in an interesting spot, but they're going to be aware of this. They're going to be careful. I think Sadzin knows he's just done his job. He just has to play a passive angle, lock down as much map control as he can, and just let the RED Canids burn out.
Connects to Cowes. AK to the ground momentarily. Looking to get picked back up, but he's got other ideas. Powering up on the hold, sitting pretty 9-4. One kill for the road for Che, but it's Legacy to convert it. Good on them under pressure towards the ramp, but I didn't feel like at any point Legacy were willing to panic. You know, even Sadzin's retreat, I mean, okay, well, panicking with the USP in his hand, but still getting a kill on that runaway, forced to run away, and then into the cover, kind of gets a chance to catch his breath, and then delivers 2 clean shutdown frags in hell.
Yeah, it's definitely calm with Nissim's first kill as well. And
yeah, that's a little panic, but that's as bad as things got.
Yeah.
And then look where it gets him after.
The low buy doesn't work out for them. And it was a force down. They don't have any money left over. This will be a pseudo attack pause they talk about next round.
Gonna have to dig deep. Look at drop.
Oh,
Man's
yeah,
found a chance to read the paper.
Well into the notes.
You think it's the news or the comics or straight to the funny section? Oh, my stock portfolio is doing horribly this morning.
I don't see the Legacy obituary anywhere.
Yeah. Just making sure that their names aren't on that list either. And at least until there's best of 3s rolling, you know it's not elimination. This is a great chance for Canids, though it was anyways. Highest win percentage on Nuke versus domestic opposition. Getting torn apart on the HUD play. That round goes about exactly how you'd anticipate with nothing bought into it. I hope Drop's done with his reading. Into the next round we'll go.
Yeah, let's see what they have in store for us. We are just in 1-1 games, you know, so it's a little bit less pressure than yesterday. I feel like, you know, everything's just about like, are we going to get 2-0 or, and again, I feel like 1-1 is kind of calm. Like if you, as long as you, I think everyone comes in, as much as you want to win everything, you just go, at least we win 1 game.
Yep.
There's a lot of pressure off of us.
I think also in the 1-1 pool, you don't have to play again today.
Yeah.
Win or lose this best of 1, you go back to the hotel, you reset, and even if you're 1-2, it's a best of 3 tomorrow. You know, the opening days of any stage of a major, going 2-0, 0-2, that is the nightmare fuel.
You just got to pray your form is right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough.
You can have an off day today.
Ooh, this is a pretty quick cross as well, and the rotations this time aren't quite as fast here. Lux is going to be late to this, and they're going to let him by. And this smoke lets him know that they can actually get forward.
Wow. able to get away from the vents. They don't pounce on him. Sadzen trying to get into the action, takes a bullet to the head. His history yet again has been good from the double door cross to get into the Astralis plant zone.
And this next kill, if it's a CT, I don't know if a retake's going to happen. They got to be very careful about this because this round is still alive.
Nissim just glued to the monitor trying to find his moment to strike. We go
Doubled
two
up
players, right, inside this vent. One gets cleared. Will they anticipate a second? That starts to frazzle the players on site, but they let History go unnoticed. And so Lotto, killing Venom Zera, puts it back onto History. He's 2 kills into this round, gets a third over towards the single door, knows the route with the last one, and he damn near clutched the vet in there, but he'll play with the time. Forced over into the corner, gives himself a flash, and he's got this. 4 kills or not. It's a clutch for History and a clean entry that also pushed him past Sadzen's op, put that bomb down, and allowed for Red Canids to pull off this 5th round win.
Again, we're getting the same rotation downstairs out of Lux through the vents, and he's trying to get there as quick as he can, but it feels like Red Canids are getting down there even faster every single round, and that play ends up working out beautifully. Looks like the note taken has paid off. They try to make do, but the double up event, this was just a little bit too much. Delayed for time, and obviously History could have died right here and the round would be over, but he was clutch to make this happen.
Especially sketchy with that glass still intact.
It's, yeah.
Having to shoot that on the runaway,
while
man.
walking back,
That's just one more mechanic input. I don't know.
No, definitely.
Good on him to get over that.
Very solid composure. So, I mean, we're seeing some good rounds from Legacy, but it's like, they're kind of like Kickstarter rounds, but they're not following up with a good rifle win. Instead, it's Red Canids, it feels like, winning the important rounds, and then, you know, we'll see what happens versus the low buys.
Yeah, that streak of 3 rounds is just the first one. You win with less. You follow up versus a force, and then the freebie. So let's see if they can do real rounds. We get into the final 3 of the first half. Oh, Lux gets that
19 damage dink.
Right?
Okay, they followed it up.
Makes it look a bit easier. That kind of shakes up the cannons, but that's ambitious, Lux.
They thought for sure it was going to be an upper exact that he was just getting in front of. He had no ammo. He could have just held back, though.
Nissim peels away from the trophy room. Would hate to be a second victim. You just lose what was man advantage.
Yeah, he thought he was about to pull off a flank again. The comm right there was they're coming upper, but that wasn't true. Now they'll actually reaggress towards it, and Lotto, if he throws his nade, he's going to get called out.
Yeah, they know he's here, and he's not able to shut down Che. Molotov on Nissim's feet forces him into the action. Che gets himself a double kill, and this was 5v4 with plenty of bodies on this upper hit.
Yeah, it was a miscomm, a misread on the situation. It was a good start, but that in-between timing for Red Canids, and they catch him off guard one more time. They even managed to push back the flank before they went back into hut.
6 rounds on a T-side of Nuke. They're going to be feeling like they're sitting pretty.
They're slotted, man. I mean, when they get downstairs and Lux is a little late, or they get out of hut and you got someone throwing a smoke, that's not normally where you catch Legacy off guard. They're usually really good in the moments like that. We'll probably see them pull off some moves like that themselves on T-side. So at least Legacy still have some money. Even though they didn't win those rifles in their 3-round streak, they built up an economy. But still, we're nearing the end of the half, and Red Canids got to be feeling pretty proud of themselves.
Especially with more rounds to win. Lux will be beating himself up for trying to walk through that smoke. Surely feels like a bit of a gift to just get the Canids back in. I like that they didn't rush it either. Still flushing Nissim back from the trophy room, making sure they had that little bit more space, especially when we saw already Nissim's flanks into lobby have cost them as they set up for their A-hits. So small adaptations here for the Canids, and it works. But an 8-4 T-side, ooh, tempting if you are the attack right now. So they'll put all the effort they have to in these final 2 rounds of the half, trying to pull off that lead. I'd say problem for them is it's gun round versus gun round, but that actually hasn't served up too much of an issue so far.
about these outside crosses, but they're not going secret. Ooh, that's a nice find. This is just huge because they see that off falling back. Now they're just vulnerable outside. Oh, and they catch a push hitter.
Doom out, gets flashed into the hut, gets dropped, Sadson falling out of heaven.
Early.
Now they're going to know about it, but Lotto pushing off-site, at least recovers. Critical 2K. Somebody had to step up in those moments.
They're thinking, though, this is a really big opportunity. They know that the CTs are going to be really worried about upper. They have lost health control, so they have to watch the back of this. And I think the mid-round is perfect here for RED Canids. Oh, they catch that too.
Because now there's ambiguity. 25 seconds, you're not quite sure what they do off that frag.
I think they know that lower's open, but they still are tentative about just jumping on it. This is a bomb by itself at the moment. Lux could stop this.
Gotta give yourself enough time to cross over. Venom Sarah is the one with that bomb, 10 seconds.
He's waiting for Che.
And as he goes over the cross, CT makes contact. Now a ton more pressure on Che, already sitting 50 health. He's got to commit to it, and he doesn't.
Oh.
He tries to tap it out, and that is just a bit of a fumble on the crossover. The deep angle from ramp ultimately costs them, and Legacy win out 2v2.
I appreciate them waiting for each other to try to go through, but Lux handles it very well. Like, he stays in the doorway while they don't have enough time to, or the utility to block it off. And even though they double swing together, it's just, they have one chance to kill him. They miss that one chance. And so a nice punish here from Lux, who he's just been having an okay couple of days.
Great 3K from Lotto, ultimately, because that
true.
was going to get just scooped up by the attackers. But him pushing from beyond the silo, trying to get into hut to just maintain some kind of a control was critical to get Legacy their 5th. Canids come in with everything that they can afford. Final round of the half, back again to the outer smokes, but there's vision over top of it. This posted position from Sadson's going to give him all the info he needs. Meanwhile, utility pressure into the A site. Doom out burns 1 and 2. And as he gets pressured by utility himself, he's going to be banking on his teammates to hold this. Canids take a second, and they are still on the perimeter of this site. One drops down the vent. Cowes Tech9 entry opens up the B site, and this time they're not going to waste a moment.
Oh, now it's scary. They can't go down the vent that easily. Oh, Lotto's not even going for the drop just yet. That bomb's getting planted. They have decon. They have a squeaky lurk as well.
Miss him over towards the ramp. Doesn't end up getting any vision. Drop, 49 health. Walks into the off of Sadson, who's now looking for that next layer of a hold. But remember, Cowes just working with the Tech9. It was enough to drop down into the vent to get this opening. But now he's going to be calling on history to come and join him as those players have already crossed beyond the vent. It's that looming threat behind them. They opt to double up inside of the single door. Missed flash to the bomb site. Certainly not ideal, but that bomb's ticking. And as that Galil tries to get to the action, it's another successful late round moment here for Legacy. It's 6 rounds of a CT side, but slow improvements, piecing these together, ties this game at the half.
Nice! Porra, guys, vamos, porra!
Que gostosa!
Nice! Linda história! Nice! Porra! Boa, caralho! Boa, guys!
Things could have been sketchier ultimately, but still 2 rounds at the tail end of that. Legacy showing us that late round, they still have the ability to contain a situation. Great challenge out of Canids, has to be said, and great half as well. You're never disappointed if you walk away from a T-side nuke with 6.
No, totally. I think they've got to feel pretty good about today. Not showing us that even yesterday. Like, they played close to Fnatic. That game went to overtime. They got to win. They're the team this event without the expectations, right?
Smoke in front of Che. He'll not be able to stop anybody from challenging sight. Pressure on Cowes now. Loses a teammate above him. Still plenty of layers left.
Boy.
Or I say plenty. Everybody just gets popped instantaneous, and it's history to the 1v4. Now he knows there's one behind the blue box, but he's got nothing to do about it. Wants to save his Kevlar Berettas. And Nissam's got other ideas. So Legacy jump on this opportunity, win their T-pistol, much like the Canids did back in the first half. And this is their chance to now just kind of run away with tempo.
Yeah, they got to show us they're warmed up and that they're ready to take them on, and they're the best sort of, what they're looking for is to be the best Brazilian 5. And the reason that they're in this stage is because they didn't go the pain strat of like missing the right events, not losing too much. But they're 2 teams now that we know are very close to each other, but Legacy just have to work a little harder as a major and play from this stage. And we get reminded every stage 1, there are teams that are rightfully doubted, but everyone's so good these days that it's very hard to know who's going to show up. And RED Canids have already impressed quite a bit. So even if Legacy play close and win this game, they'll still be happy, they'll still be proud of themselves, and we'll still leave knowing that RED Canids impressed, but Legacy are doing their job.
Yeah, I think there's some teams where close games might shake them a little bit more, and they just maybe won't find as much satisfaction from them, and that's fair. You set your expectations of yourself wherever you want. But Legacy, I think, in these nitty-gritty games, they find a way to still pat themselves on their back. They never get too down in the dumps about a close match or whatever.
They feel like very present.
Yeah.
I can sense the gratitude from Legacy when it comes to their wins, for sure.
Never strangers to a dogfight. Legacy in the lead. Ever so slightly.
This is an interesting stack, actually, because they're all coming this direction.
Was assembled towards ramp originally. Just keep that Galil going.
Hey, AK can't do that.
Lux finds 4 frags with the 35 bullets in that bad boy. And that's going to be Legacy to pull ahead.
There's some good kills for Lux. He needs to get some confidence back into this game.
Damn near doubles them right then and there. So, obviously that was Canids giving a chance over, not coming in with anything but their USPs. So we get a round 3 bye in the second half. It's got some limitations, clearly.
No kits. Am I right?
Yes.
No kits.
Well, just don't let them play. Easier said than done as we get this rambunctious bunch trying to cross outer. Oh, Nate didn't go deep enough. Looked like it would have exposed something. Instead, Cowes takes a shot to the head, and look how quickly things can go from 0 to 100. Woo. Doom out just charging down through the garage, gets himself 3 frags.
This round's a wrap. They can't even rotate.
They tried trucking out frag grenades, looking to apply a bit of pressure. He sees that as an invitation. He is on for an ace. A Galil versus a full buy, and he just walks through them one by one, mowing down every body that steps into that crosshair. 5th frag right there for the taking, denied. Venomzera is going to chop him down 1 shy, but still an excellent round out of Doomau.
He wanted that ace at the major, and it was just a freebie. The round's over. He's done his job. An amazing round out of Doomau. 4K entry, cleared outside all by himself. Not even the best gun that he could have had.
Very effectively kind of found the Canids not supporting one another, right? 4 separate 1 versus 1s, all very clean kills.
That's going to happen on low utility rounds. You got to make up for it by just putting your rifles in position to just get some, 60-40 fights. And, well, he came up against all of them easily. Let's watch that back.
Sprays through on Cowes. Good prediction of Che's peak.
Everything's to the head.
The first player to even damage him was the CT challenge.
Yeah, he had a magnet. magnet to everyone's domes here.
Oh yeah, he did want that ace.
Yeah.
No, no.
You can put that mic up, brother. Your teammates still have to hear it. Dumau's got the pipes, and he's also got the kills. 16 and 6. 15 rounds into play. Sends Red Canids back down to the pistols. And this T-side's looking to just take off.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they make so much money off of that, too. The one thing you miss when it's one guy runs through your opponents like that is that round wasn't close. There were so many saves. That's that last rifle, or that last anti-eco, Lux got all the kills. Already built up a big bank. Very disheartening moment here for Red Canids, who put in so much effort on that T side. But an awful start to the second half, and it could get worse right here.
Cow has popped.
Perfect zoning with the molly in the clear.
Going through the motions, doing it well. You know, you can always bank on Dumau to kind of operate successfully on his own. This is another instance of that. He doesn't end up dying, giving a gun over, gets out of it as well. And now we get Lotto just clipping Venom Zera. I think he saw probably a smidge as that smoke was coming back to full effect.
Yeah.
And that's all he needed to find you. And suddenly behind that frag is a completely vacant upper hit. So Legacy to secure double digits, not wasting a moment since this T-side has started.
No kidding. I mean, everything's just perfectly in place. And again, what we're looking at is 5 saved. No joke. Red Canids probably try to use their small amount of resources here to just try to find some exits if possible. Like, otherwise, it's going to be a nightmare for them to climb back. You know, the CT, we talk about the CT benefits and the CT advantages you have, but it really only comes when you've got that full amount of money. When you have that buy like you had last time with no kits and only rifles, no op, half armor, so you can even get headshotted by Galils, and then half of the utility, not full incendiaries, CT side advantages kind of disappear at the same time.
Cleaning house as well.
Yeah, he's letting him have it.
Unfortunately, we haven't really had that lifeline moment for Red Canids, and there's no kind of close call that you can kind of hype the boys up about. This is feeling like a bit of a free fall moment on the defense.
Yep.
Again, second most played map, highest win rate. So there's plenty to go off of, but you've got to make sure that system doesn't collapse in the face of Legacy's challenge. And just the pace and the timing and the individual levels now that are starting to come out of Legacy, particularly Dumau. You know, it feels like Dumau's more than happy to give you a challenge. And if he can make sure that their war machine never gets going, then this game's going to be over before Red Canids can realize. Here comes their next buy round, at least. Up in history's hands. You got to shut this down right here. You were tied coming into the first half. You lose pistol, sure, but you haven't been able to slow it down. And the one gun round you've got a chance to play. Second gun round for Red Canids CT side right here has to be different.
There's a lot of players that need to get online. We've seen some good moments, but yeah, the kills, the deaths are starting to climb. So looks like another outside play and a default here. Mystery looking for a pickoff. That would make things easier. And this is technically their best buy of the half so far, with one kit and an op to use. And yeah, you see a team like spending all their money, you just want to bleed them dry. You can come in fast if you want to, but it's always a lot scarier. Oh my, he's got by.
The wall.
He's got by. Oh no, this is Jay in secret. Oh my god. He thought he had his head in the wall.
Caution of the smoke, but tucked over towards Secret instead. And now suddenly I feel like Jay's in a better spot. That was Sadson to take a look at it. He is going to be operating on his own versus 3 if they come this way.
This is scary for Jay. They molly the stairs. They're kind of watching this, but not really.
Well-timed peek. Catches one off, but now you are very much locked into this corner.
Oh, what a shot.
Sadson's going to hunt you down. Nowhere to hide there if you are Jay. And so found out with the wall bang, Nissim looks to activate on timing. He's gotten past just barely, I thought, but instead takes a quarter of his health down. And now you're playing this game of chicken versus the support that misses. An op shot whiff by History is huge. And now Venom Zero gets popped trying to clear out from the corner. Sad's in there to close it. Wallbang into Secret. Legacy flawless on this T side.
Oh, that is the ultimate heartbreak now, man. That's just one small shot missed, and it's just like a series of dominoes from there. History had a chance to shut down that lurk. They caught him walking out too. He could have got killed multiple times.
What a nuisance Nissim is in that ramp room.
And then Che dying this way as well. Oh my God. I mean, they knew he was there, but still an off shot to the head.
Yeah. He could have been on the boxes, crouched behind the boxes, close corner along the wall, but it felt like that was a homing missile of an op shot. So we go 5 rounds straight at a Legacy. Yeah. Haven't looked in the rear view since switching over to the T side, and look at the tempo thrown out yet again. Dumao challenging into the lower sight. Che is walking out unprepared, not ready for this pace.
Oh,
a huge change up in the tempo, and they leave Lux just floating around outside. He'll find his. Drop has given you something to work with, at least one kill back the other way, and this chase from Kawes is going to keep him preoccupied, but he's walking into a whole pack of Legacy players. Two backs turned with the cover. Sadzin catches him just around the box.
Yeah, he was looking that way. He was reloading, or he's switching, but got it together just in time. It's disheartening, but also like Legacy ripped it from you. Like the way they won was just so clear. And now it's like, what do? You're not going to see that one op shot. That's the only time they had an op this half. They missed that op shot. They lose the round. They lost all the rounds before that. They won't see that again.
No, I think, you know, I don't want to sugarcoat Legacy's struggles so far these last 2 days, but I think this is the kind of half that is going to get Legacy back to where everybody's expectations were. They will reference this, even if they, you know, have struggles in the best of threes. I think this is that turning point where everything, for the first time here in Budapest, just works. Individual levels, certainly good enough to close out this game.
Yeah, they'll all look at each other and be like, hey, we're back.
There it is, right? We've tapped into it. We've tapped into what we know we can deliver. And this, what was 4 versus 2, does get whittled down low. Drop could still offer us something. It would have to be a 4K on the round. And he'd have to get these last couple with only 50 health. They spot him, they swing in, and we get that successful trade out from Legacy. Again, could have been cleaner with 4 versus 2. But with this momentum that they're rolling with, I think just happy to see 12 at the top of the board.
Just one more clutch for Legacy. Even if it's a close moment, it's a double swing where they were planning for that, and they get the kill. They're delivering. They're getting all the good shots in. They're moving as quickly as they want to. This has been a fantastic T-side. I mean, how can you say it's not? Like, Red Canids have been at a standstill since this half started.
6 rounds in a row. Domination in the pistol as well, just with the tempo, right? The pace of play that Legacy have brought to the attack was evident from the first round on the offense. Slotting right into the terrorist side. It's got to be a gut-wrenching one if you're the Red Canids, because you know you were in this game. You had done seemingly the hard part. 6 rounds on the attack yourself. Sure, lose pistol, that's one thing, but look at the amount of, you know, that's the first time it gets boiled down to a single survivor.
Yeah, and now, I mean, the money's already out of hand. It's
a damning graphic.
Not getting any more ops to work with. It's History on a scout this round. Legacy know that they're on the ropes. They're just looking for a final blow. And they're really expecting a lot of, there's the outside cross smoke, so the CTs are still holding back here. But obviously, Legacy here are going to put a lot of pressure on ramp. This really comes down to History's rotation, but again, he only has the scout to work with.
This has been a real problem for them in this ramp pressure. There's a follow through with bodies here. Legacy going to keep.
They lock one downstairs and they open up hell.
Dumao about to peek into what could be 2 if he decides to overstep, but sometimes happy to let them come to him, and it looks like that's the plan. Lock into the corner.
You can't see the vent rotation. They're trying to guess, you know, whether or not the CTs are going to overfill down here, but they're still mostly upstairs.
Drop sitting solo on the site right now. Utility starts to trickle in. That presence could spook Red Canids to throw another player down. Molotov on drop speed. He will bring Lotto with him. That's one thing. Dumau looks the wrong direction
Wait,
in the lobby.
he didn't get cleared.
Kawes didn't clear it.
No.
Now,
What? He just looked by him.
He was on your screen. He was on his screen as he looked past. Interesting spot here between Kawes and Dumau, but at the same time,
How many more hurts do you need?
if everything goes downstairs at the same time, then what could still come together? I mean, Bomb is sitting on Nissim's back. He goes to finally plant this. Kawes isn't close enough to stop that bomb plant, and it's Dumau who ultimately strikes first. They get off of the site, they come up from control, and they're gonna still end this. Getting away with 2 ships crossing in the lobby. It feels like Legacy have finally arrived in Budapest. A flawless T-side. A reference moment for Stage 1. A type of Counter-Strike that will make you believe that they could go on in this event.